The massive alien ship hung motionless above Seoul, its metallic surface reflecting the city's trembling lights. Captain June Park stood at the window of the emergency command center, his eyes fixed on the enormous vessel that blocked out the moon. Around him, military personnel moved with controlled urgency, their fingers racing across holographic displays. Lieutenant Yuna Kim approached, her tablet displaying a stream of incoming data. "They're not responding to any communication protocols," she reported, her voice steady despite the tension crackling through the room. The Karzal ship was unlike anything humans had ever seen. It wasn't just large, it was impossibly large, spanning nearly half the city's skyline. Strange energy signatures pulsed along its curved exterior, creating an almost living impression of technology beyond human comprehension. Suddenly, a burst of blue-green light erupted from the ship's lower hull. Massive energy cannons deployed, their tips glowing with an unnatural intensity. Military radar systems began screaming warnings across every communication channel. June knew this was different from any invasion scenario they had ever practiced. These weren't conquerors looking for negotiation. These were predators. "Activate Defense Protocol Omega," he commanded, his voice cutting through the controlled chaos of the command center. Across Seoul, hidden defense systems began to emerge. Underground missile silos rose silently from beneath city streets. Experimental electromagnetic pulse generators hummed to life, their networks interconnected in a complex web of technological defense. The alien transmission came suddenly, a harsh, mechanical sound that seemed to vibrate through everyone's bones. "Inhabitants of Earth, your technological civilization is irrelevant. Surrender is your only option." Yuna's fingers flew across her communication panel, attempting to trace the transmission's origin. But the signal was unlike anything in their database. It seemed to exist both everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. Outside, the first wave of alien dropships began descending. They moved with a precision that was both beautiful and terrifying, like deadly mechanical insects dropping from an enormous metallic hive. Each dropship was roughly the size of a commercial airliner, but its design suggested something far more advanced than human engineering. June watched as the first dropship touched down in an open plaza. Its surface shimmered, then split open like a metallic flower. Dark figures began emerging, tall, armored beings that moved with an inhuman grace. The Karzal warriors were not what anyone had expected. They weren't the bulky reptilian creatures from science fiction movies. They were sleek, almost elegant, with armor that seemed to flow like liquid metal around their bodies. Each carried weapons that pulsed with energy, promising destruction beyond human imagination. "They think we're helpless," June whispered to Yuna. "They have no idea what humans are capable of." In military bases across the globe, similar scenes were unfolding. The Karzal had chosen multiple landing zones, believing their technological superiority would ensure a quick conquest. They had studied Earth's communication networks, military capabilities, and societal structures. But their research had missed one crucial element: human resilience. As the first alien troops moved into the city, something unexpected happened. Instead of panic, the streets filled with a calm, determined resistance. People weren't running. They were organizing underground communication networks, developed over years of global connectivity, began sharing real-time information. Civilian technology experts started analyzing the alien systems. Military personnel from different branches and nations began coordinating their responses with unprecedented speed. The Karzal had chosen Earth believing it was just another conquest. They would soon learn that this planet was different. This planet fought back. June looked at Yuna, a small smile crossing his face. They have no idea what's coming. The first shots of what would become humanity's most critical battle were about to be fired. And Earth was ready. The city burned, but not from alien weapons. It burned with human determination. Haewon Choi stood in a hidden underground research facility, surrounded by screens displaying global communication networks. Her team of young engineers and scientists worked frantically, turning everyday technology into weapons of resistance. Cellular towers across Seoul transformed. What once transmitted phone calls now became advanced jamming systems targeting alien communication frequencies. Ordinary smartphones became sophisticated tracking devices, mapping alien movement patterns in real time. The Karzal initially believed their technological superiority would crush human resistance quickly. They were wrong. In the first 48 hours, human adaptability became their greatest weapon. Traffic management systems were reprogrammed to create massive electromagnetic interference. Street cameras became reconnaissance tools. Even public transportation networks became coordinated defense platforms. Drone operators who previously worked in commercial sectors now became elite military units. Gamers with lightning-fast reflexes were recruited to control experimental combat systems. Programmers became digital warriors, infiltrating alien communication networks. Satellite networks, previously used for communication and navigation, now served as a global defense grid. Each satellite became a potential weapon, redirecting energy, signals, disrupting alien targeting systems. The military's initial losses were significant. Entire military bases were destroyed in the first assault, but each destroyed base meant captured alien technology. Each fallen soldier meant valuable combat data. Haewon's breakthrough came unexpectedly. By analyzing the alien communication patterns, her team discovered a critical weakness in their technological infrastructure. The Karzal's advanced systems relied on a centralized communication network, a single point of vulnerability. "We don't need to fight them directly," Haewon told her team. "We just need to break their communication." Across the city, makeshift resistance groups formed. Construction workers used heavy machinery as improvised weapons. Taxi drivers became intelligence networks. Teenagers with coding skills became digital soldiers. The Karzal discovered something they never expected. Humans didn't fight like other conquered species. They didn't have a single command structure. They were decentralized, adaptable, unpredictable. When alien ground troops entered residential neighborhoods, they found communities that didn't run. Instead, they organized. Local defense groups used whatever was available. Electrical systems, communication networks, even home appliances became potential weapons. A group of university students discovered they could use wireless routers to create localized electromagnetic pulses. Shopping mall security systems were reprogrammed to track and disrupt alien movements. Public transit became mobile defense platforms. The global response was equally impressive. Countries that were traditional rivals now shared intelligence. Military technologies were rapidly exchanged. A global communication network emerged faster and more complex than anything the aliens had encountered. Haewon's team managed to create a virus that could penetrate alien communication systems. It wasn't designed to destroy. It was designed to confuse. To make the Karzal question their own technology, alien commanders watched in growing frustration as their advanced systems became increasingly unreliable. Targeting mechanisms failed. Communication channels became scrambled. Their perfect invasion plan was falling apart. The human resistance wasn't just fighting. They were learning, adapting, evolving with each passing hour. By the end of the first week, the Karzal realized they had severely underestimated Earth. This wasn't just another planetary conquest. This was a war against a species that refused to be defeated. Haewon looked at her team, exhausted but determined. "We're just getting started," she said. The initial resistance had shown the galaxy one crucial truth: humanity would not go quietly. They would fight, they would adapt, and they would survive. The real battle was just beginning. The alien command ship hung in Earth's orbit, its massive system suddenly flickering with unexpected errors. Commander Vrel watched in growing panic. As system after system began to malfunction, teenage hackers in Seoul had become the unexpected heroes of humanity's resistance. They worked in hidden basements, their fingers dancing across keyboards, breaking into alien technological networks with a skill that defied everything the Karzal understood about primitive species. June Park stood in the emergency command center, watching a live feed of the technological battle unfolding. What looked like random system failures were actually carefully coordinated attacks. Each breakdown was a calculated move, designed to create maximum confusion. The Karzal had advanced technology that could destroy entire planetary systems. But they had never encountered an enemy that fought like humans, unpredictable, creative, willing to use anything as a weapon. One research team discovered they could use modified satellite internet connections to send complex algorithmic attacks. Another group found ways to inject digital viruses that mimicked alien communication protocols. Each attack was like a ghost in the machine, invisible, yet devastating. In a small technology lab, a group of engineers discovered something extraordinary. By combining human quantum computing with fragments of captured alien technology, they created a hybrid system that could predict and counter alien technological defenses. The alien ships began experiencing impossible glitches. Navigation systems would suddenly display Earth's landscape instead of space coordinates. Communication channels would burst with random human music, memes, and television broadcasts. It was psychological warfare at a technological level. Military drones previously used for reconnaissance were now transformed into advanced combat platforms. Each drone became a potential weapon, capable of adapting its attack strategy in milliseconds. The Karzal's rigid battle algorithms couldn't compete with this level of unpredictability. Vrel watched in horror as his most advanced battleships became increasingly unreliable. What had seemed like a simple invasion was turning into a technological nightmare. Humans weren't just defending, they were attacking in ways the Karzal couldn't understand. A group of high school students discovered they could use modified gaming controllers to redirect alien weapon systems. Online gaming skills translated directly into drone control, creating a generation of unexpected warriors. The global response was unlike anything in military history. Countries shared technology in real time. An open-source approach to fighting. The alien invasion meant that a solution discovered in one part of the world could be implemented globally within hours. Quantum computers, previously used for scientific research, now became weapons of war. They could process alien communication patterns faster than the aliens could change them. Each attack was a learning opportunity, each defense a chance to understand the enemy better. Haywan's team discovered the critical weakness in the alien technological network. Their systems, while advanced, relied on a centralized communication structure. Humans with their decentralized networks could adapt much faster. They think in straight lines, Haywan told her team. We think in networks. The battle wasn't just happening in space or on the ground. It was happening in digital spaces, in communication networks, in the very fabric of technological interaction. Humans were fighting with creativity, with adaptability, with a spirit that no technological system could predict. Alien commanders began to realize they had made a critical mistake. They had studied Earth's technology, but they hadn't understood its people. Humans didn't just use technology. They lived with it, they breathed it, they made it an extension of themselves. By the end of the week, entire alien squadrons found themselves fighting against an enemy that seemed to be everywhere and nowhere. Their most advanced systems were being turned against them, transformed by human creativity into weapons of resistance. Vrel knew then that this was no ordinary invasion. This was a war against a species that refused to be conquered, a species that could turn any system, any technology into a weapon of survival. The skies over Seoul burned with the light of falling alien ships. Massive mechanical suits developed in secret underground laboratories emerged from hidden launch sites, their metal frames reflecting the city's desperate hope. Captain June. Park stood inside the prototype mech suit, its neural interface connecting directly with his nervous system. Years of military training and technological innovation had created something the Karzal could never have predicted, a human-machine hybrid weapon system that responded faster than any alien technology. Around the world, similar scenes were unfolding. What had started as a planetary invasion was now turning into humanity's most remarkable counterattack. Military bases that seemed destroyed now revealed hidden defenses. Cities that appeared conquered were actually preparing for total war. In Tokyo, modified industrial robots transformed into combat platforms. In New York, financial district servers became advanced command and control centers. In Mumbai, entire Call centers were repurposed as communication warfare units. The entire planet had become a single, interconnected fighting machine. The Karzal had studied Earth's military capabilities. They knew about nuclear weapons, traditional military systems, satellite networks. What they didn't understand was human creativity. Farmers used agricultural drones as reconnaissance units. Delivery truck networks became mobile communication relays. Teenagers who played complex strategy games now controlled advanced combat systems with instinctive skill. June's mech suit moved with impossible speed. Each step crushed alien ground units. Its adaptive armor could absorb and redirect energy weapons. Machine learning algorithms predicted alien attack patterns faster than their own computers could process. They thought we were weak, June muttered, into his communication system. They were wrong. Global communication networks now functioned as a single, living organism. Intelligence from one continent was immediately shared with military units on the other side of the planet. The Karzal's centralized command structure was no match for humanity's distributed network of resistance. Experimental weapons emerged from hidden research facilities, quantum entanglement communication systems that could not be intercepted, energy weapons that could adapt their frequency faster than alien shields could respond, biological countermeasures developed from human genetic research. Lieutenant Yuna Kim coordinated global defense strategies from a mobile command center. Her team included programmers, scientists, military strategists, and specialists from every conceivable field. Age, nationality, professional background, none of that mattered anymore. They were all human. They were all fighting for survival. Captured alien technology was rapidly reverse-engineered. What took the Karzal years to develop, humans could now replicate and improve within weeks. Each destroyed alien ship became a learning opportunity. Each captured weapon a potential breakthrough. The counteroffensive wasn't just military. It was total, involving every aspect of human society. Economic systems were restructured. Manufacturing was transformed. Education became a weapon, with every school and university contributing to the global resistance. Alien ground units found themselves fighting against an enemy that didn't follow any traditional warfare rules. Cities weren't just defended. They were living, breathing combat platforms. Every street, every building could become a weapon. Haywan's research team continued, breaking into alien communication networks, creating more sophisticated digital weapons. Their latest breakthrough allowed them to not just disrupt alien systems, but to actually control them momentarily. Commander Vrel watched in growing desperation as human resistance grew stronger with each passing hour. Their adaptability was beyond anything in galactic records. Humans didn't just fight. They evolved in real time. The global counteroffensive had begun, and the Karzal were about to learn a brutal lesson. Earth was not just another planet to conquer. Earth was a planet that fought back. June's final transmission to Alien Command was brutally simple. You picked the wrong planet. The stars watched silently as humanity's first interstellar fleet emerged from Earth's orbit. What had begun as a planetary defense had transformed into something far more significant, a species ready to claim its place in the galaxy. Commander Vrel of the Karzal watched in disbelief as human ships approached. They were nothing like the primitive vessels he had expected. Each ship was a living system, adaptive and unpredictable, designed with a complexity that challenged everything the alien civilization understood about technological warfare. June Park sat in the command center of the flagship Resilience, a vessel built from reverse-engineered alien technology and human innovation. Around him, a crew of scientists, military personnel, and specialists from every corner of Earth worked with a precision that felt almost supernatural. The human fleet moved differently. Where alien ships followed rigid battle formations, these ships danced, shifting, adapting, responding to threats before they even fully materialized. Each vessel was connected through a quantum communication network that made their collective intelligence greater than any individual ship. Across captured, alien communication channels, a message was broadcast. Not a threat, not a declaration of war, simply a statement that would echo through galactic history. We are humanity. We defend ourselves. The first battle was swift and brutal. Entire Karzal squadrons found themselves overwhelmed by tactics that defied their understanding of warfare. Human ships would split, merge, transform mid-battle. Weapon systems that worked for centuries against other species suddenly became ineffective. Yuna Kim coordinated global defense strategies from the ship's advanced command center. Her team included specialists who had been preparing for this moment their entire lives. Programmers who could rewrite battle algorithms in seconds. Scientists who could turn captured alien technology into weapons before the enemy could respond. What the Karzal didn't understand was that this wasn't just a military conflict. This was a species fighting for its right to exist. Every human soldier carried the hopes of generations. Every technology was a testament to human creativity and survival. Haewon's research continued even during the battle. Her team was already developing technologies that would transform the captured alien ships. What took the Karzal years to develop, humans could now replicate and improve within weeks. The alien command structure began to collapse. Their centralized communication networks, once their greatest strength, became their fatal weakness. Human cyber warriors moved through their systems like ghosts, turning their own technologies against them. Captured alien planets began to revolt. Species that had been enslaved for generations saw humanity's resistance and found their own courage. The Karzal's galactic empire, built on centuries of conquest, began to crumble. June watched the battle unfold, understanding that this was more than a military campaign. This was a message to the galaxy. Humanity would not be conquered. Humanity would not be controlled. The final assault was surgical. Human ships didn't seek total destruction. They dismantled the Karzal's technological infrastructure with a precision that suggested something beyond mere military strategy. It was almost like a surgical operation, removing a threat while preserving the potential for future understanding. Commander Vrel's final transmission was a mix of confusion and respect. These humans were not like any species the Karzal had encountered. They fought with a combination of technology, creativity, and an unbreakable spirit that defied all known galactic rules. As the battle concluded, something unexpected happened. Human ships began helping surviving alien crews. Medical teams prepared to provide assistance. Scientists prepared to study and understand, not to destroy. The galactic reckoning was complete, but it was not an end. It was a beginning. Humanity had arrived in the galaxy, and the universe would never be the same again.